Earlier, we talked about different lengths of fast. We've come back to this a couple times, and we talked about what you do in a typical day for fasting, but that only gives us a picture of one day. As somebody who is so tuned into this world and believes so much in this message of fasting, I'm curious, how do you use all those different fasts over, say, a year? Do you have a
Yeah.
period of time where you go fast for, 5 days, whatever it is? I'm curious how you plug that in over a longer period of time.
Yeah, it's a great question. So, women, I just want to say for the women, this is Fast Like a Girl is all about how you do just that according to your hormones. So, for women, I think we need to go in and out of these 6 different length fasts according to our hormones. And I created this tool called the fasting cycle that will allow women to pick the different length fasts that she wants to use and map it to her hormones. For having putting that aside, once you've mastered fasting, you're getting this in and out rhythm. For both men and women, I like a week approach of what I call a 5-1-1. 5 days a week, you're doing 13 to 15 hours of fasting. 1 day a week, you're elongating that fast. If you can get to that 24-hour fast, fabulous. And 1 day a week, you're not fasting. That is a really good, solid way to start to vary your fast. Some of the people in our community have done a 4-2-1. 4 days a week of the intermittent fasting, 2 days a week elongating the fast, and then 1 day a week of not fasting. What you're trying to do is mimic what your cave ancestors did. So those are some weekly variations. Monthly variations, I like women to do it according to their cycle and to their hormones. I have a whole 30-day reset in there that all women of all hormonal needs can do. But on a yearly basis, if we take these 6 different length fasts, I strongly feel like a 3-day water fast for all humans would be well served, or all humans would be well served with it twice a year. And I like January and I like September. And the reason I like those two is that January, first thing, you've got the whole world doing something with their health. So it gets a lot easier. You're coming off the holidays. We're going to do a worldwide fast in celebration of this book this first week of January. So if you haven't done a 3-day water fast, I might be able to talk you into that, Jesse. I don't know. So twice a year, September, it's great because you're coming off the summer, depending on what hemisphere you're in. And it really helps you course correct. So twice a year for 3-day. I think once a quarter, throwing in a 36-hour fast or a 48-hour fast is great. I like a 24-hour fast once a week. If that's not within your reach, then I would do it at least once a month. So I look at it like you want to dip into these fasts and then you kind of come back to your normal rhythm. And then you dip into the longer ones and then you come back depending on what healing effect you're trying to create.
Yeah, I think it's really important we went into that because they, to me, seem like all different tools on the tool belt, depending on what your goals are. And I want to caveat this whole thing by it's going to depend on the individual person, what their goals are. If they have a lot of weight to lose and they're 300 pounds, they're going to have a different strategy than somebody who wants to be preventative and maintain their weight. So everybody needs to zoom out, look at this from their own goals and what they want to get out of this. But just to get an idea for people to have a template to look at.
Yeah. I'm so glad you asked the question because we want the absolute again. And every time we're looking for the absolute, we lose when it comes to healthcare. So in the book, the 6 different fasts, what I do is I show you the science and then I show you the reasons you would pick those fasts. And then it's up to you whether you, when I read the audiobook, the sound engineers were men and they were like, this is a good book for men too. I'm like, yeah, the first section especially has all the science. So don't shy away from it, men, if you're wanting to know why you would go into these six different fasts. But think of them as a tool. I think of them like a Swiss Army knife. Like sometimes you pull out the screwdriver, sometimes you pull out the big knife, depending on what, sometimes you pull out the tweezers. What are you going to use? Where we have gone wrong in the fasting world is that we started to look at it being a one size fits all. And that is the whole premise I am trying to break apart. It is a bio-individual process. You can't tell anybody how to fast. You've got to decide for yourself what fasting tool you want for what healing effect you want to have occur in your body.
If you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
So if you want to lose weight, I really feel like the first thing we've got to look at is when you eat, not what you eat. Coffee may really help one person elongate their fast, and it may actually break the fast.